Coffee or tea? Or stimulus with a side of hazard pay as well. It's a great day. It's afternoon's LALATE, and holiday cheer is on the horizon as we're focusing on how to get holiday cheer with your coffee and tea in ways you never thought. It's a cheap, economical way. Meantime, breaking news about your stimulus that could impact the whole balance of power in the Senate. The push for stimulus checks is underway, but has a major development minutes ago changed that for the better. This is shocking breaking news, and this is Holidays LALATE. Can I give you some coffee or tea? Your butler's in the room. When I'm not recording, I'm at the casino serving away. But I'm so glad you're here. We're going to have a lot of fun today on Holidays LALATE, our midday program that has your updates about stimulus that's breaking news and a little bit of holiday spirit with stuff that's easy, cheap, or literally no dollars on the penny to get you through this pandemic and have a lot of fun during the holidays. I'm so glad you joined me. It's a great day. The sun is out. It's actually warm. You see me wearing a shirt. I do have pants on, so please keep it G-rated. And it's incredibly nice outside, finally. And I hope it's good where you are. Where are you right now, and what is the temperature? Drop in the comments below. I like to see it. I love to see it. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe because I'm going live. This morning there was breaking news just announced in the last 24 hours about Social Security benefits, so I had to have a special taping and a live broadcast and taped recording of Mornings LALATE. So it was an extra recording, and it was a lot of fun. Also, like this video. In this video, I'll be going over really the big things that you need to know that is causing a lot of confusion about stimulus checks. Second stimulus, third stimulus. Again, a lot of questions, and I'm going to answer them right now. And as I joked with one viewer earlier today, I said, when people say, "Can you explain?" I explain, and then they say, "You repeated yourself." Well, because I'm repeating it again. So, if you're saying I'm repeating myself, well, because some people are asking for some explanations, and I'm here to help you. Also, I'll be going over why Georgia is so incredibly important for your stimulus checks. It was announced minutes ago, and boy, your eyes are going to roll. My eyes are rolling as well. And finally, we'll have a lot of holiday cheer on how to do it with coffee and tea. Coffee and tea may be your economical way to get through this pandemic with a holiday decor, which is aromatic and also quite beautiful. All right, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that minutes ago, the state of Georgia's president-elect nominee was announced as Joseph Biden. Now, this is categorically important for your stimulus, and I'm going to tell you why right now. The state of Georgia Secretary of State just announced the Electoral College has designated Joe Biden as the president-elect for the state of Georgia, which has traditionally voted Republican. In January 5th, there will be a runoff race of 2 Senate seats. Those 2 Senate seats ultimately will depend and will ultimately determine the balance of power in the Senate and could determine whether you get enormous stimulus or moderate stimulus. Let me explain to you what's going on. And I've touched on a little bit, but for the first time, I'm going on right now because this is really breaking right now. The current balance of power as of election night is that the Senate is to remain GOP. Mitch McConnell is the majority leader. Okay. There's 2 seats outstanding that the results are still not determined, and that is the state of Georgia. Georgia has 2 Senate seats up for voting. They did not reach a certain threshold, so by Georgia law, they have to go to a runoff election. That runoff election is January 5th. The runoff election will determine the outcome of those 2 Senate seats. Here is how the mathematics works. If both seats go Democratic, Mitch McConnell is no longer the majority leader. Chuck Schumer is, and the Senate has gone Democratic. I'll repeat that again. Those 2 Georgia seats that go up for re-election, runoff on January 5th. If they both go Democratic, Mitch McConnell is gone. He is no longer the majority leader of the Senate, and the Senate falls to the Democrats, and Chuck Schumer is the new Democratic leader of the Senate. Yeah. So you see, suddenly, you saw earlier this week or last week that Nancy Pelosi is no longer the chief negotiator for the Democrats. Joe Biden is the president-elect. Well, Mitch McConnell may quickly be in trouble because he's not going, but his majority leadership of the Senate may totally change. Why is this important for your stimulus? It would totally change the entire universe of your stimulus. Basically, if you're new to this channel, I'll explain how bills become law. They start in either the Senate or the House, and then they go to the other body, the Senate or the House, and they have to then go to the president, who either signs or doesn't sign. If it doesn't sign, then it goes back to the Senate or House, and they can override his veto. What's important to understand is that Democratic agendas like hazard pay, SSI increases, SSI supplements, that $2,400 I've been talking about in the last 24 hours, hazard pay, that $10,000 could land in your bank account, stimulus checks, multiple stimulus checks, big, bold, beautiful stimulus checks, unemployment benefits at $600 a week of FPUC, all these things that have been pushed by Joe Biden would literally go right in and become law right away when Joe Biden, when Mitch McConnell's friends in the Senate are out as a majority leader, as majority after election night, after inauguration. Let me explain. Mitch McConnell is still currently the majority leader in the Senate. If the Georgia runoff races go both Democratic, then Mitch McConnell, come January 20th, will no longer be the majority leader, and basically any legislation that Joe Biden wants will become the law of the land within just seconds of, him calling up Chuck and Nancy and say, hey, I want this done. Okay, put it for a vote one day, put it for a vote another day, done. So basically, let me give you an example. If Joe Biden says, you know what, I watched that guy with the purple power, and, we sent out one stimulus check a week ago. I think we need another stimulus check, and we're seeing new lockdowns. I want to send out a $2,000 stimulus check. And then there's Mitch in the chorus like, oh, I don't want $2,000 stimulus check. Well, guess what? Mitch, you're no longer relevant, because now the Senate is not controlled by the Democrats, or the Republicans, it's controlled by the Democrats. And that stimulus check could be big, bold, and beautiful as much as Joe Biden wants it to be, and Mitch could not be able to block it. This is incredible big news. All right, let me go to the other things that have been a lot of confusion. First, people have been asking how soon, when, where, when is it going to land in my bank account? Let me explain. We're dealing with senators, and we're dealing with a president-elect, and we're dealing with these two Senate races out of Georgia. There's literally too much in a given day to predict where things are going to go from A to B. So people are saying, what day can it pass? When could it land? How could it land? Let me give you an example. Mitch McConnell could speak with Joe Biden right now. Yes, they can talk. Anyone can talk. And let me get to that before I get to the bills. Anyone can talk for negotiation of a stimulus package. Steve Mnuchin is a cabinet member. He's not a member of Congress. Ultimately, the only people who can vote on a stimulus package are members of Congress. Joe Biden can't vote on a stimulus package. Donald Trump can't vote on a stimulus package. Mark Meadows can't vote on a stimulus package. Only members of Congress vote on legislation. Congress passes legislation, Senate and House. Who can negotiate for them? Anyone. The head of the airlines union could call up Susan Collins and say, Susan, I want you to do a standalone bill for the airlines, and I want you to write it right now. We need a bailout. She said, okay, I'll write a standalone bill. Guess what? That's exactly what happened. The airlines lobbyist called up Susan Collins and said, I need a standalone bill for the airlines. I'm negotiating for the airlines. I represent 20 airlines. We need a standalone bill. Okay, says Susan, I'll do it, and I'll introduce it tomorrow. And that's exactly what happened. So people go and say, no one can talk to congressional leaders and introduce a bill. Well, the airline lobbyist can't write the bill himself and introduce it into Congress because he's not a congressman. But he can certainly call up Susan Collins and say, hey, you know what? I gave John Schmo in the Congress like $20 trillion in campaign donations last year. So I want you to go do the standalone bill. Oh, sure, I'll just go do standalone bill. And that's what they do. There's nothing illegal about it. That's what campaign lobbyists do. So can Joe Biden pick up the phone and talk to Mitch? Yes. Can Senator Harris pick up the phone and talk to Nancy Pelosi? Sure. Can anyone talk to anyone? Absolutely. But when it comes to introducing law, it requires congressional approval. The next question I'm getting from a lot of people is that what happens with the president? I said this before about 5 times, and I'm going to say it again. The way legislation works is it starts in the Senate or the House, it goes to the other body, the Senate or the House, then goes to the president to sign. If the president doesn't sign, says, no, I'm not going to help Joe, it goes back to the Senate or House. They can then override his veto by a 2/3 majority. 2/3 is not much of anything. If everyone wants the bill, well, then of course they're going to override it with 2/3. It's done instantly. Answer? Okay, there we go. Finally, there's some people that want to be sort of partisan and talk about this isn't happening and this hasn't happened. Let me be very clear. Certain states have across the country confirmed who is the winner of the Electoral College in their state. Those results have been certified. Some people have been dropping in the comments that the election results will not be certified until the Supreme Court hears it. That's not even any resemblance to truth. That's just fake narrative. I'm not going to deal with fake narrative. And if you want to bring fake narrative, you can, just not here. And it has nothing to do with our stimulus. Why are we talking about things that are just fake when we're talking about stimulus? The purpose of this channel is to get people money. It's not here to grow someone's ego or paddle someone. The purpose of this channel is to get people money. And ultimately, whoever gets that person the money has solved the problem. So if Chuck Schumer wants to wake up tomorrow and write a standalone bill and call Mitch McConnell and write a standalone bill after Chuck Schumer's done nothing for the Democrats for months, then we love him. I mean, that's as simple as that. And so love of the purple power is getting us relief when we need it. Love is not sitting back and saying, I don't like that person, I don't like that person. Okay, you don't like it, but that has nothing to do with the narrative of this channel, which is getting the stimulus relief, getting you from point A to point B, and getting through the pandemic. If you have more questions or comments below, certainly drop them, and I'll try to answer them in the coming days. Next, holiday cheer. Wow. You know, one of the most important things to understand is that holiday cheer is not always buying ornaments. It's not always buying things. It's often repurposing things, which has been the spirit of holidays, LALATE, every day, midday on this channel. And one of the best ways to bring people into holiday cheer is aromatic coffee, tea, and other beverages. And what I wanted to show you is what I often do with a holiday table. If you've seen it on the set, you've seen these sort of items on the set. You see how bold and beautiful something is like this? I want to start this as sort of the example. Here is an Italian coffee machine. And the reason why I'm using this is simply for the color and the expression. Here's another one. And I'm showing it to you for the color and the expression. This is a beautiful green with a little bit of yellow. I mean, actually, it's all yellow, but it's coming off a little bit green on the camera. I can see with the camera lighting. This is actually all yellow, but it's coming off a little bit green and yellow. And this is all actually purplish, violet, but it's coming off more blue on the camera with an orange handle. It's very Vikings color, NFL Vikings color. What's important to understand is that when you're doing a holiday table, you can do it simply with aromatic things that are very inviting for people that you have around the house. And one of the ways to do a beautiful table is with coffee and tea. You put the coffee in the center of the table, the canister, not being used, cold in its current form, and then a wonderful tea container or another coffee container. Anything you have around the house, anything at all. It could just be coffee cups. It could be mugs. Nothing says more inviting for the holidays than mugs. Put some mugs on the table, and then put a little bit of sugar in a little container and some spoons. And then what I would add on the table, and this is the element that puts it over the corner, is some coffee beans or a couple of tea bags. There is nothing that smells more wonderful than coffee beans on a table. And if you have anything that is more aromatic than that, like cinnamon or nutmeg, and you have it in the bean form, put it on the table. When you go to spices or when you go to beans or anything that is aromatic that you have your mornings or evenings with, and I certainly include whiskey in there because I know there's some whiskey viewers, anything that has a scent to it and is quite beautiful unto itself, put on the table and cluster with cups and containers, mugs and containers like this. The mugs and the canisters create the environment of holiday spirit. And it's that way that you can just do simple things and dress it up and be very inviting and not spend a dollar. And as some viewers say, can you do something for the dogs that dogs and cats won't destroy? Well, most dogs and cats don't like the smell of coffee, so hopefully your cat or dog is one of those that if they smell coffee beans on the dining room table, they're just, no, that's just awful. That's just like a bad hairstyle. I'm staying away from that. If you have questions or comments in today's video, drop them in the comments below. I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. Coming up later is Afternoons LALATE. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay in LA for more.